All right, so we got Coach Davis here, across from another Coach Davis, so we in the building. Uh, Let my people know about you, brother. Give them some of your background, my guy.
Thanks for having me first. Yes, Coach Davis Senior, probably coaching now for well over 20 plus years. Started with AAU way back in the day. Then I did some grade school basketball and football, boys and girls. Did some high school football and basketball, and then of course, year doing Division three and just continuously working, and that's kind of me, man. Just all over the place. Just moving up progressively. Now I'm back in Milwaukee. Hopefully, we get my next high school program this coming up season.
Okay, okay. Let me know about that D3 program because I know you moved out to Philly. I was like, where my man's go? He just dipped out.
I was in DC. I was in DC
Gotcha.
at Gallaudet University.
Okay.
It's the only deaf college in the country. Their football program almost won conference. I went out there to coach for a year. My son's out there
Okay.
in school. Played Howard, of course. Everybody gets their Division One games in
Yep.
D3 level. But we were in a really tough Eastern Conference out there for Division Three ball. So played some really good schools on the East Coast. Went out to New York. Played a couple schools out there. Of course, in the Maryland area, played some schools over there, St. Mary's. So the conference is really good. Our record, we didn't do too well, but it was a good opportunity for me to learn and get a good grasp of how the different college basketball works.
Understood. Nice to hear that, man. We always trying to get, get to as many levels as possible because there's so much game and just at every level you just.
Yeah, because the biggest adjustment I tell everybody that I picked up personally is the amount of information you get at the college level. And every time out you get that stat sheet. You gotta like analyze that quickly. You gotta process who's on the floor, who can do what, who likes to shoot from where. I was like, man, every time out. I mean, man, we used to hit the whole. By the end of the game, I had like 20 pieces of paper from. I was like, wait a minute, because you don't get that at the high school level.
Yep.
I mean, every time out, I was like, this is crazy. Like the
Mm-hmm.
amount of, but you got to quickly go through those details because you got to be able to tell the coach,
Yeah.
like, hey, this guy is in. He's a 85% shooter. We don't want to foul him, or this guy is a good 3-point shooter. We want to stay with him. Things like that we have to know. Even our own players, we have to know their percentage while they're on the floor.
Yep.
And minutes and times. So you get a lot of information, which was a big thing I picked up a lot.
Yep. Which leads me into that first question I really wanted to ask, but I forgot to put it on the list. And what it is athletes today are not students of said game. Because literally we'll be at the timeout, like you just said, there's one of us standing there almost by half court, like, okay. Yeah, like we snipers, like, hold on. Him?
Yeah.
Okay, he checked out. Okay, cool. He gone. All right, cool. He got fouls. He can't come back right now. Damn it, here he comes. You know what I'm saying?
And that's exactly what happened because just all those little details you have to be able to be ready.
Mm-hmm.
Even as players, the players kind of know, like, hey, the guy in guard is a good 3-point shooter. Which way he's like to go a lot. We had to analyze that, a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
Weekend that goes into it before we even do film study. We have a film study before we even have a team film study.
Yeah.
So we have to watch and break down exactly. Some high schools do it, but at the college level, it's just so much more detailed that you have to be. Like you said, I would be standing there waiting for that paper.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm a vulture. Like, where's
Yep.
Coach is sweating me,
Mm-hmm.
so I got to get on you
Yep.
so I can give it to him. and sometimes the assistant coach be like, let me go there and get it myself. And they'll go there and grab it.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to try, cipher it and everything. So, yeah, it was truly fun, truly amazing. The detail part of it is what kids got to learn.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Details, being able to just, decipher those situations. Like I just left a practice and we had a young guy, what I'm saying? He really hasn't played basketball. Like his sport is baseball.
Yeah.
But he want to hoop. So it's like, okay, you give him an opportunity. And we going over this play, which is a 1-4 high situation. And I know he's smart, like just school-wise. So I'm like, you know what? Hey, like one of the other kids like, hey, I'm going to write it out for him. I was like, nah, he's smart. So let's use actual terms. So I'm like, hey, if you're a guard, you centering this guy up, you know what I'm saying? You coming off a UCLA screen, bro. That just means you rolling down. He's like, what does that mean? And I was like, man, that's what they did for Kareem, bro. You don't understand, like, where you can shoot that from? You want to get him as close as possible. You want to guard the big screen so you can't switch. And then he was like, oh, I was like, see? I was like, you just need to think because you're a thinking kid, you know what I'm saying? So let's give you stuff to think about. I was like, hey, you watch Kevin Durant, right? He's like, yeah. Well, okay. Kevin Durant starts walking towards his guy, puts his hands on his chest. What he about to do? He about to come off that screen. Oh, it's the same screen that we trying to get you to set for the past 3 days, which we explained and said play. Then he was like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, because you see it, you hear them talk about it on TV because you don't know the terms. It's just throwing you off. That's just all it is.
Yeah, and that's the details that the high school kids got to learn when they go to college. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where a lot of them get lost in that. Like, even for my son, his freshman year, you got to be physical,
mm-hmm.
and you got to pay attention. You miss them, like you said, the little small things like a little brush, a push off, set up the guy, just to walk down the timing, spacing, knowing when to make that move. A lot of the freshmen that come into college just think, oh, I'm just about to play.
Mm-hmm.
You get a rude awakening when you get that college practice and that coach be in your ear telling you you missed that cut because you didn't set it up right, or you missed that screen because you didn't set it up right.
Yep.
And those kind of things is what I think a lot of the high school kids have to realize. It's more than just trying to go score 40 points.
Mm-hmm.
It's how do you score that 40 points? How do you set up that play to get that basket?
Yep.
Because there was a kid that we played against. I can't think of the name of the school, but it was a guard. He was a point guard.
Mm-hmm.
And coach, I promise you, the other guard that was on the side of him was a ball handler, but this dude was making about 5'11", but he would come off screen so pretty, and he'd be in the right spot, and that was his spot. And that's where you got to learn that in your game. You got to learn where you do your best work at, and then that coach gets you to the position.
Yep, definitely. And I was just talking with, a couple months ago, I got a chance to interview Preston Ingram, down at Missouri Baptist. And he literally said there was a dude in their league. I think he said last year. If it wasn't last year, it was the year before. Say my man's averaged a triple-double. It was like, okay, he averaged triple-double. It was like, what did it look like? He's like, bro, he scored 1,500 points this season. I'm like, look, I don't know how he was doing it. That's like hold on, okay, he beat us, but hold on, what he had tonight? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to go look that up myself. And it's just how efficiently he did it. It was like, look, you can't get no triple-double tonight. We gotta stop one of those stat columns, you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you're going to kill us. And if you're not going to kill us, you're going to put us in a game situation that we really not trying to be in.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And that's where, again, St. Mary's had a player. This kid was, a couple years ago, of course, when I was out there. This kid was 6'11", 7 foot, but he was a three-point shooter.
Mm-hmm.
He hated to be around the basket, of course, but he had bad knees. And that's kind of why he wasn't, a big for saying that, today's.
Mm-hmm.
But this kid was, coach, he would come off their little pin down or something, and they put him in the right spot. He didn't move very fast, but he was effective.
Yep.
And that's, again, it's just the small things of knowing how to come off the screen properly, how to set your man up to use the screen properly, to get yourself open, to get you those points. And that's where, like his thing, I can just go downhill into the rim. Man, that 6'3" dude, that's athletic, even at the D3 level, that 6'3" athletic dude, he coming over there, gonna pin it to the backboard.
Mm-hmm.
So you think he's gonna get downhill as a guard,
yep.
Go float it up with that offhand, he gonna pin that thing to the backboard, and they're gonna be out, your coach will be sitting on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we try to tell kids, you have to understand that you play college ball, you have to be able to do more than just be a scorer. Yes, you have to be able to, make baskets, of course, yep. But you also have to be able to do the other things to help your team in position to win.
Yep.
The coach ain't trying to get out there and lose it because you just want to score 40.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't gonna happen.
Exactly. And we had a dude 7 years ago on that team that just won everything or whatever. When he would come into open gyms after that, he want to come back, hang out, stuff like that. When he come back into open gyms, and we be waiting like, okay, he just made a nice move. And we just look at Jordan like, okay, we know he going to come out of nowhere. And then when he block you and pin you and laugh at you as he's blocking and pinning you, because his vertical was just stupid. We just looking like, hey, you. welcome to college basketball. And then we won't talk to you for the rest of the night. Because now you know.
Sonny Mooresville had a kid.
Mm-hmm.
We played them. Sonny Mooresville had a kid. He's about 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah.
To me personally, looking at him, I thought he was a D1, D2 kind of kid, not a D3.
Yep.
But he transferred. But the kid, I mean, his warm up was 1-2 dribble, pull up, and he just worked it over and over and over. Everybody's out there doing shoot around, because everybody in college you can shoot around.
Yep.
Everybody was doing all the other stuff. He was working on that one, boom, boom, bang. And in the game, what do you do? Boom, boom, bang, boom, boom. And then that's what he was efficient at.
Yep.
So that's what kids, again, those little detailed things of, I'm not trying to go out here and dribble 50 times out here at half court to get warm for the game. No, go work on exactly what you're going to be doing in the game, and that translates to the game. And that was his pregame warm-up, like an hour, we get there an hour and 20 minutes before the game in college.
Yep.
It's just a long warm-up.
Yep. Had one of those kind of guys, too. He's up at Winona State now, and it's like his second year, he played with a bunch of younger guys, all right?
Yeah. Just
because of COVID and gap year stuff. So he ends up playing with this younger group, and we're just kind of looking at them like, what time y'all get to practice? We got here, 15 minutes, 20 minutes early. For real? When was Jordan here? Jordan been here for an hour. He already sweating. Okay. I was like, y'all not going to take notes? Want to work out with him? He kind of be lone wolf. Him being lone wolf kind of says that y'all need to kind of pick it up because he real talkative. He don't hate y'all. He y'all point guard. He passing y'all the ball. So, like, do you want the extra work? Do you, want to put that in? And you just have some, kids that, they really, when they see it, they're like, we don't want to do that. And they end up looking at him as like, yep, he ended up being JUCO All-American. He ended up hitting 1,000,001 threes, and he's the one that's on for a ride somewhere. They didn't ask him to get in the portal or nothing like that. He up there doing his damn thing.
And that's the difference. That's the difference. It's you can't get to the level and then get satisfied. You got to get to that level and then still be hungry. Once you get satisfied, that's what happens. Then you stall out. Then you start to just go like, I'm going through the motions. You have to stay hungry again. Like I said, that same kind of kid, man. He just did his work while everybody was having fun, joking and laughing. He would do his work. He carried the team, of course, but he did his work. It showed why he's a starter. He's the man on that spot, averaging 15, 17 points a game. And that's the detail that I be trying to tell kids, like, you got to get that detail into your game. It can't just be this and that all over the place. You got to chop it down to the detail work. Get something you're good at, get something you're really good at, and develop maybe one or two extra things, but really get efficient at that one or two things that you are mastering, so then that way you can move on.
Yep. And it's all a part of the process. And they just got to understand, like, hey, it's your process. It might look jacked up today. It's supposed to.
Yeah.
You can't put yourself deeper in a hole mentally when we trying to introduce you to new things. Because all that's going to do is it's just going to make it worse. And then you're like, dang, why they always on me? Well, we own you because we care. But obviously we see something in you, too, that, you just don't understand that you have yet. Yeah.
And that's part of the younger guys coming in, having to learn culture, having to learn how to manage time. Mm-hmm. I would tell that to every high school kid that's going to college. If you don't manage that time, your grades gonna fall. You're gonna fall. It's air is gonna snowball.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can't manage that time, because you're on college campus. Even if you stay at home and you say you're at JUCO and they don't have housing, you at home, you still have to manage that time because it's still full time. You still have to do your schoolwork. You still got to be ready for practice. You still got to do your off-season work. You still got to do your conditioning. You still got to do your lifting. You still got to do everything. But you got to budget that time because once you start allowing the outside influences, hey man, don't worry about this street tonight. Let's go party. You not do your homework or you not do your work. So many kids fall out that way.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. You got to stay in them grades because you don't got the grades. Ain't no basketball.
For sure. And now I've been coming at kids like this. Like, hey, if you're doing too much of this and your 2K rating is higher than your life rating, Hey, you got an issue, bro.
You got a big issue because you see kids like I see kids that are 20, 22, 21s ask me, hey, can you help me? I'm like, to me, I can try to help you, but it's not much you can really do if you're 21 or 22 because it was something where you took a gap year for whatever reason it is. Then I always try to tell them, you got to get back to school 1st. Find a school that you want to go to, get your grades, get whatever you need to go first, and then start the process. Trying to get on the basketball team.
Yep.
Because you have to get back acclimated. That school part is so important that's what I think a lot of kids miss. If you don't have them grades, even if you're a 6'10", 6'11" kid, if your grades ain't right, it's going to be so much tougher for you to move on and get that opportunity. Whereas your grades are, I hate to say it that way, you're making it, your minimum.
Yep.
Yes, you still have a chance, but you're not going to give yourself a full chance.
Exactly.
College grades, man, it's a different ball game than high school.
Yeah.
Because again, you got the party, you got the social aspect, you got like I said, the video game aspect, and if you live on campus, it's a 24-hour party. Because there's going to be kids like when we was out there, when I was out there in DC, we didn't stay that far from the campus, and anytime I would come on campus, all you would hear is just parties are going on. You hear stories about, this dorm had a party that night. This dorm had kids drunk, kids, passing out. And those kind of social aspects, as an athlete, have to kind of like find a true balance.
Yep.
Just keep yourself in that athletic world. Because if you let it slip, once it slips once, it's going to keep on slipping.
And I had that conversation with my AAU guys back in the spring because I came to practice and it just didn't look right. And the other coaches and the director was just like, yeah, just don't look right. I was like, you know what? Y'all just came off y'all junior year. Y'all seniors now. And y'all the cool kids on campus. Everybody wants your time. But the reason they want your time is because y'all put in a lot of time here. If you wasn't the dude, they wouldn't want to be around you. So you kind of got to single some of them people out, just to be honest with you.
Yes.
Then after that, it's like, okay, what's important? You trying to go play for free? I behoove you to be here. If you want to go party and stuff like that, it's cool. Some kids just want to go be a student. If that's what you want to do, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But you just got to, pick your struggle. If you're going to be in the middle on either one of them, it's going to jack something up for everybody. Your teammates, your family, because they invested money. Or they invested time going to see you and, send you off and all that. It just ends up being a whole bunch of stuff, and you start juggling stuff, and you're like, damn, okay, I wasted some time. Yeah, you did. There was no point in doing that.
Yeah, once you waste time at the college level, you wasted too much time. In high school, even like you said, in your junior, senior year, even your sophomore year at this point, if you waste that time, you wasted too much time.
Yep.
Like, I mean, yes, you gotta get your rest. You gotta get your rest, relax. I always say 3 hours: rest, relax, read. You gotta do those 3. Like, you got to do those 3. But at the same time, you have to manage your time. If you can't manage your time in high school, there's no way you're gonna manage your time in college.
Yep.
And that's just the truth. I mean, if you're a partier, now if you party hard in high school, odds are you might not get an opportunity. There's kids that party pretty good and still made it. But at the same time, you're making it tougher on yourself to make it to college.
Yeah.
Because once you get to that college level, just about 90% of college campuses are parties. So you have to be able to put that balance.
Yep. And I'm not absolved from that too. I did a little bit, but not too much,
That's why I was only in college for 1 year at JUCO, coach. I was like, man, this party is too good.
All right.
Let's keep it at 100. And I try to tell kids my story. Like, as coaches, we try to share a story to help them understand if this is what you want to do, you got to avoid what we try to tell you to avoid because we've been through it.
Yep, definitely. All right, so here's the hard topic, okay? And somebody gonna be mad at me, but I don't care. So, why don't more families research the people that are trying to train said kids? Because I know you hear stories And I hear
Yes.
stories, and I'm just kind of like,
Yes.
he had y'all doing what? Or she had y'all doing what?
Yeah.
Look, I'm not going to come at the process, but we hear too many horror stories too. And the horror story could not be even what they're actually doing. The horror story usually is, yeah, they ran off with my money. And it's
Yeah.
just so cringeworthy. Like,
Yeah.
or people want to fight over the training situation.
Yeah.
If you actually, you're really just about the kid getting better, like I tell the AAU kids, especially when they first get to me, it was like, look, Coach T don't give a damn about losing this game if you get better.
Yeah.
I don't care. You understand the concepts now? Cool. Hey, you can be more efficient? Cool. All right, we can go 0-3 this weekend. Don't care. Let's go home. Well, my parents are mad. Don't care. Did you get better? Yes. The whole objective is the student athlete getting better. Trophies, we gonna take them home. You got an office full of them. I'm pretty sure I do too. Okay, yay, medals. Who cares? Who cares? Did you get better? Did you get to where you wanted to get to? Cool. All right. Yeah, cool. You playing at the college level? I'm gonna show up, but at the same time, we gotta get there, and they'll understand that.
Yes.
So that's just cringeworthy. Why is not more research put into the people that are actually, putting this knowledge on people?
And you know what? The fast answer is they either see or they hear, oh, this guy worked out with this D1 player, or this guy worked out with this NBA player. And then they automatically believe, oh, well, because you did that with that player and that player, it's automatically going to translate to what you do with me. And that's not the case.
Exactly.
You have to find someone who is going to help your child. Most of the time, those guys that work with those D1s or those NBA players, they've already been at that level already, and they just happen to work out with them once or twice, and now they use that as, okay, now this is my bait. Because it's a bait. It's a bait. And I said the other day on Twitter, I was like, it seems like it's becoming more of a hustle than actually coaching, and that's what it is. Like if say I'm one of those trainers, right, and I get a kid from North Carolina to come work out with me one time.
Yep.
I post that. Guess what? I'm saying, see, I trained this dude. I trained this guy. I trained that guy. Now, 20 other kids can be like, oh, I'm going to run to him because why? Because he worked out with that one dude that one time that it happened to be a friend of the family or a friend that he knew somebody. That's mainly how some of them happen. So I always tell kids all the time, say, if you're going to look for a trainer, look for somebody who's going to actually train you, who's going to actually give you, is it going to be a group session? Find out if it's going to be a group session. Find out if they do individual training. Find out what they do, what they teach. Like if you're only going to work on ball handling, if you can dribble the ball a million times, you can't shoot. What did you just learn? Or vice versa. If you just shoot a million times but you never handle the ball, what did you just learn? So I always tell people, find somebody who's actually training you, who's working with you. If they can actually incorporate stuff that you can translate, that builds your confidence.
Yep.
Because if I train with you for 2 hours, but then you get to the game, you can't produce, then what was that 2 hours?
Exactly.
Again, it's just, and I think a lot, the other part is probably, parents who probably don't know, are just like, okay, well, my son said, or my daughter said, uncle, whoever is a trainer, and I'm gonna go work out with him because it's free, or he's only charging $10 an hour. But what is he showing you? Just because he gives you a ladder and tells you to do the line, I'm like, why y'all doing line drills? I'm like, basketball footwork and football footwork is kind of different. So if you're doing ladders, what are you doing ladders for? And I've always wanted to ask that, like, what are you doing ladder drills for?
Yeah.
You're not holding the basketball like a football. You're not right. So again, I will also say, go watch it. Go watch it. Go watch it before you start up with somebody. Say, hey, can I come in? Can I sit down and can I watch what you do with your players? How you talk? How you, are you sitting there just demonstrating for 4 hours and you charge me $99.95 for me to just watch you tell me what to do? Am I actually going to get something from it?
Yeah.
What connections do you have, if any? Do you have connections to travel programs? Do you have connections to high schools? Do you have connections to college coaches? If I'm spending my money with you, I want you to have those connections, or are you helping me develop?
Yep.
Are you actually helping my child develop, it translates to the game, not just dribbling, fancy dribbling because it looks cute for you to record and post on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a lot of times what happens is they take those training sessions and they just chop it up, edit it to grab the next kid to come in and pay.
Yep.
But what are they really getting from it?
Exactly. And it ends up being a lot of that because so I just left practice and one of the younger guys was like, hey, should I be able to do this move right here? I was like, you know what? No. So what you mean? It looked good? I was like, yeah, that's the problem. It looked good. But I just want you to, as a guard, screens, or you attacking, right now, our objective is I need you guys to go north and south. So however you get around him, cool. But then I need your chest at the basket because now you're actually a threat. All this sideways crap, bro, you're not shooting sideways. You ain't throwing no hooks up. The behind the back, over your hip, that ain't going in, bro. And if you do that, we gonna kill you. So we know you're not about to do that. So don't ask that question. He was like, okay, I get what you're saying. I was like, yeah, you got deep. And what did I say? I always tell guards, like, hey, if you're attacking, that half step, that first hash past that free throw line, if your mind not made up, you must want to come talk.
Yeah.
And that's where he got to. And then he tried to do one of these. And it just kind of like, you beat your guy. The bigs jumped. And they were like this. Floater. He was like, oh. I was like, yeah, because you're trying to be too much of you still got to be a threat. You're trying to be too much point guard now. Like, you would have got him the ball, and he would have got beat up. Then, plus, your guy that's guarding you, he over there now, too, because you jumped to make the pass. And then eventually it clicked, like, okay, damn. Okay, I probably should have just shot the ball. Yeah, just please. Just don't go east and west so much. Like, hey, stay off them coasts. That's my statement for the year. Stay off the coast. We need you centralized.
I gotta use that. I gotta steal that. Take it down. I like that.
I got you.
I'm gonna tell my guys to stay off me, man. I'm using that, coach. I'm using that.
I got you.
Because at the end of the day, I was at an event a while ago. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Kid, he literally Euro step, and the defender was on the weak side.
Mm-hmm.
He Euro step, and the defender wasn't even within 5 feet of him.
Yep.
So I'm like, he's going to the rim. He missed the shot. I'm like, what was the Euro step for? Just lay it up. Because they're overtraining, they're overdoing it too much.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. Like, if you don't teach them when to use the Euro step or how to use it,
yep,
they're gonna get there and do that. They're gonna do all that jelly. They're gonna do all that to try to look pretty.
Mm-hmm.
But they gotta realize. I mean, coach, he was a wing drive, and he went to Euro. I'm like, but where's the defender? Like, who are you Euroing? If there's somebody in the lane, like, why are you doing this? There's nobody and I turned to the other coaches that were there, and we both just laughed, like, what did he just do? Like, so, again, when you look for trainers, look for someone who's going to help you to know when to use your moves, know how to use it effectively, because like you said, you got to get past your defender.
Mm-hmm.
If you beat your defender, now you create opportunities for everybody else. And then you have to know when to, hey, if that guy steps up, I got a dish off, or I got a kick out, or I got like you said, a floater.
Mm-hmm.
But so many kids think, oh, now I got to force my way because in high school I can get away with that.
Yep.
I can force my way to that rim and try to finish over somebody and make it look pretty and hope it go in.
Mm-hmm.
Where in college, again, you might have a 6'2" guard, a 6'2" athletic guard, especially at the JUCO level. There's athleticism all over the place.
Yep.
That dude would come pin that stuff off the glass, maybe going out the way, and keep sitting there like on the floor because physically you're playing 24, 25-year-olds, where in high school you were playing, you might play 19 or 20-year-olds. Didn't mean to say that out loud.
Right.
I mean, in high school, but seriously, you might play like a 17, 18, 19-year-old. In high school, but in college, you're going to play those 20, now you're going to play 24, 25, maybe. There was a guy there we had was 27.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had two 26-year-olds one time.
Thank you. And they got them dads, they got fatherly strength because they're, older guys. And when they hit you, those younger guys, they go down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the other thing I always want to tell my younger guys now is, like, get in that weight room.
Yep.
Because once you get to college, if you're going to get knocked down.
Mm-hmm.
If your freshman year in college, you get knocked down. I don't care, I don't care what school you play at. You're going to get beat up. Your body's going to be sore. You're you have that's where the recuperation comes in, relaxing, getting your body back and your mental back, right? Because you try to land on that 28-year-old dude, it ain't like
it ain't gonna work out.
Like you're gonna get knocked to that ground and you're gonna be hurt because after practice, everybody's gonna lay into you. And that's where I think a lot of the younger guys who are coming out of high school, going into college, at any level, have to understand you got to get in that weight room, get your body ready for that level.
And that's one thing, AAU wise, I try to pull it off every year. The moment I know they ready, like, oh, y'all know the offense? Yeah, okay. And I don't say what's coming, but it's like, hey, JUCO guys, 4-year guys. Oh, y'all thought we was gonna practice? No, I'm about to sit down. We scrimmaging. And I just sit there and do this. You can do all the moves now, right? It ain't working. I told you it ain't gonna work. Do you think it was a joke? It's not gonna work, is it? No. But I thought I was open. It was a problem. You thought you were open.
Thank you. It's a big difference between being open and thinking you were open.
And creating space. Like they like today too. I was like, hey, one thing I need to show y'all is I know to show y'all how to create space because I got 3 really really quick guards. It's like, okay. As far as creating space, like you just keep trying to use your speed. I was like, man, treat like you got a little brother. This is where I go with that. You got a little brother? Yeah. How do you keep him away from you? Oh, usually with just my hip. Oh. So if you use your hip and extend your arm, wouldn't you be open? Oh.
There you go.
I just look at him, give him one of these, and I walk away. It's like,
when that light bulb go off, it's magical when that light bulb go off. When they actually like, like this is what I've been trying to tell you, and I love that.
Yep.
It's one of the best parts about coaching.
For sure, because it's like some stuff is just so simple. It's like you just want to you want to always extend it. Like even back with the trainers, you want to extend it in a way that they're gonna receive it and be able to use it right away. Because I want to see you use it so you can screw up. I thought I was gonna do it like this. I was like, no, don't go out there preconceived. Just go out there and try. And when it is messed up, you'll be able to fix that little stuff. We're not talking about, fixing your form or nothing. We just talking about going north-south, getting up, making the right shot, making the right read, and not getting too deep. Just 4 simple things. Like, just figure that part out. Come talk about it. But for them, too, development-wise, I love telling kids to watch film, but watch it in slow motion, and then watch yourself. Because sometimes the situation is just going too quick. You're going quick, your heart's beating, and you got a bunch of thoughts in your head of great things that you want to do. I'm just going to call it great things you want to do. And the problem is every play ain't going to be great. But these points per possession, we need to keep them a certain way. Otherwise, the turnover is going to kill you. Not shooting a great percentage is going to kill you. And then on top of that, usually if the offense goes wherever, the defense ain't too good right there neither. Because it's like it's that snowball effect.
Yep. And that's what happens every time. Like with players nowadays, even these guys got to realize it's pace and space. If you play with, especially at the guard position, if you play with good pace and create that good space, now you open up everything else for everybody else. Like, the other things open up for the other players, the other bigs, the other whoever. If you can't play with that control and pace, if you're too fast out of control, like you say, you get too deep. Now everything collapses. Now it's stuck. Now they get a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-1 or a fast break dunk, and that's it. Then it starts to break your confidence. And once your confidence starts to fall, then it's kind of over at that point. Once you lose confidence, it's you might as well just try to pack it in and hope you can make it the rest of the night. But that's what I try to tell kids: keep your confidence up. Play under control. Keep your confidence up. You keep your confidence up, you'll be so much better. You'll feel better. You'll play better. The team will be better.
For sure. All right, next one where I wanted to go with that is, if you could rant about anything about sports, have at it.
Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna go on a small rant about the showcase.
Okay.
Because I think so many kids and parents want to chase the points of showcase, which is cool. And I told my guys that I coached a couple weeks ago. I said, hey, if y'all out here to get a write-up and score 30 points, go ahead and do what you want to do. Go out here and do it. Now, if you want to go out here and play team ball and maybe win a few games and hopefully get yourself a college opportunity, then let's do that. And kids did that. And we won. We went 3-2. A couple of guys got picked as top players for the camp. But I didn't have anybody out there just going one-on-one the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And some people will say, okay, well, that's a showcase. But no, your showcase is, yes, if you want to showcase what you can do, but you also have to be able to play within confines of playing basketball.
Yeah.
Like, if you think you're going to get out there and showcase, if I'm going to go one-on-one every time, this person over here is going to go one-on-one every time, then what's going to happen is it's just going to turn into everybody standing around watching each other.
Yeah.
That's no longer a showcase. That's just, we out here to do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But again, as a parent, I did too. I told my son when he went to showcase, hey, why are you passing the ball? Shoot that.
Right.
But and it's the same thing because, again, as parents, yes, we want our child to be the best.
Mm-hmm.
What parent don't want their child to be the best?
Yep.
That's just how it is. But at the same time, we have to say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna let that coach. I want to see my child do good and get an offer, not a write-up. If you chase the write-ups at showcases, that's cool and fine. But I'd rather have you chase the opportunities, grow as a player, get better at the showcase, meet some excellent coaches if you can, meet some excellent other team people, kids that you can start to grow a relationship with, a genuine relationship with. Because you have to look at it, you have to go in it with a plan. You can't just go to a showcase thinking, okay, I'm going to show up, score 40, and somebody's going to give me an offer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you 6'11",
right.
I'm pretty sure you're going to go there. And then the other thing is most of the time when you go to showcases, so say what you're doing right now, say you go out to California to a showcase.
Yep.
You already know who you're going to look at.
Mm-hmm.
If a kid coming across that stands out,
yep,
that's different. But when you go to, like, these college coaches come to these showcases, they already been in contact with those kids for the most part to say, hey, which camp which showcase are you going to be at? Okay,
mm-hmm.
I happen to be going at that one too. I'll see you there.
Yep.
The times where kids get picked up are the ones who are the scrappy ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have to have the right height, and that's just basketball. You got to have the right height.
Yep.
Unless you were like a 5'11", just dominating kid, then
mm-hmm.
that's different. But for the most part, yeah, you got the right height. You got to kind of like to be a kid that just shows up and plays, rebounding, passing, defense. You're vocal.
Yep.
I tell the kid, be vocal. Don't be out here and separate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Be out here and talk. Don't just sit back here and think, okay, I'm gonna be quiet and think it's just gonna magically happen.
Yep.
And I think that's the other part that a lot of parents don't see is if your child is quiet, he can be playing the right way, but he's not drawing himself any attention.
Mm-hmm.
That attention part comes in where you're being vocal, where you're high-fiving, you're jumping up, you're drawing that eye. You need to draw the eye to you in the right way, not just, I'm going to go score 50 points and think I'm going to get an offer.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it could happen. I'm not saying it can't,
yep.
but if the better chances for you to get that is if you say, hey, you know what, I'm going to be vocal. I'm going to take charges. I'm going to high-five my teammates. I'm going to be coachable. I'm going to look the coach in the eye. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to do all the other little things to help me set myself apart from everybody else other than just scoring.
Yep.
So that's my thing is if you go to a showcase, go with a plan. Find out who's going to be there. Find out who's going to be at that showcase. Say, hey, coaches, here's my information beforehand so they kind of have an idea of who you are in the back of the head. If you just show up and think, oh, well, I got to go score 50 so I can get an offer,
mm-hmm.
It's probably not going to happen. But if you have a plan of attack, like, hey, I've already sent all of the coaches that's supposed to be in this showcase my information, my name. They kind of got me. They see my name on the list. They can see me here at this event. Now you can say, now I can go out there and play my game and do what I need to do to hopefully gain an opportunity. So that's my rant, man. Just don't go to these showcases thinking that you can score 1,000 points and then the coach from Syracuse is going to go, oh yeah, here's your offer.
Yep.
Even if you a 5'11" guard or be realistic. Be
mm-hmm.
realistic in what you're trying to get. Of course, at every showcase, tall kids is going to get the first.
Yep.
It's just a natural progression. I'm not trying to say, short kids can't get opportunity. I don't want anybody thinking that, people will run with that. Oh, you said he can't because he's short. No, no. But yeah, the taller kids are going to get looked at first, and then the 6'5", 6'6" kids, there's some there, and then they start going on there. Now the guards, again, be vocal, pick up that ball full court. If that dude's beating you consistently, work hard and pick it up full court so that coach can see, okay, this dude is really out here trying, not out here just to be out here, but out here actually trying.
Yep.
So that's my rant, coach.
Yep, I got you. And to piggyback right at that, like you just said, trying to guard or being vocal or doing all kind of stuff. I know he just, left his position at, WVU out there, but that's the what's the guard? That's the guard that's just on the bus. That's the Javon Carter story.
Yeah.
Coach Bobby said he got up there. He said he walked to the other gym. Like, if you've been to Orlando, that spot, that's a walk. So he walked to the other gym.
Yes.
and he got there and he sees Javon, like, wait a minute. It's 7 what in the morning? He's the only one picking up full court and loud in here? And everybody's stopping and doing this. It's like, what's going on over there? Oh, okay. We see what's going on. And at no point did he say anything about scoring. And that's the other part people don't get. It's like, okay, he's trying. He's like, look, he called his assistant, like, look, we got to offer him. He's like, well, why? What does he do well? Well, look, I don't know what else he does well, but he's trying to guard,
At 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
So many kids don't realize being vocal can set you apart so quicker. And because you're drawing attention.
Yep.
I'm not saying be negative, be cussing and yelling and just be like, yeah, let's go. I got him here. I'm weak side. Just calling it out. Your cadence.
Yep.
If your cadence is loud, people are going to be like, okay, well, what's going on over there? And who is this? Who is this? That's the only person that's talking. Who is this? The only one that's hustling, clapping? That extra attention would draw a college coach, especially one that's looking for a solid player. Now, again, you're going to have your superstar players or your big name players that are going to draw the attention because of their name, because they're known. But that guy that's not a known player that's going to be showcased, how are you going to stand out if you're quiet? Even if you score 20 points, 10 points, 13 points. Now, if you're out there knocking out 10, 15 threes with defense in your face, we did, my brother. Because that guy coach will say, hey, I can find spots for you because you hit these threes with defense in your face.
Yep.
That's different. But if you're not that guy and you think I'm going to just dribble happy, because at the college level, there's shot light. Not all high school play with shot light. Wisconsin, we don't play with shot light.
Yep.
So if you dribble, you cross half court, you dribble 10 times or 8 times. That's 8 to 10 seconds. Now, where's the offense at? Where's the offense going to be left to have to try to get back? Yep. Now you're in your secondary. Now you're in your third. Now you got to try to force the shot up before the shot clock. So players got to understand that if you don't shore that up now, when you get to college, you're going to build a vision until you can shore that up.
Yep.
You have to shore up that, be able to say, okay, I never played with a shot clock. I'm going now to play with a shot clock. Now I can't dribble as much because if I'm the guard, or if I'm a wing guy, I can't sit here and try to set my guy up for an hour. Nobody's running ISO in college. Who's running ISO?
Exactly. Nobody.
Who's running ISO? You can't bypass college for the league until they change the age limit. But like, and I think it's like kids are trying to do now with training. They're trying to bypass what they do in college and go right to what they're doing in the pros. Pros, yeah, you're going to get ISO because they're going to give the ball to KD or whoever, and that's what their job is to score. You're a freshman coming into college, you're probably not going to be the number 1, 2, or 3 option unless you just that dude.
Yep.
Now, yeah, it happens. But for the most part, 80% of the kids that go into college are maybe lower than that. That first year in college, you're not going to be the number 1 scorer. So you have to be able to be efficient.
Exactly. And most kids don't realize, too, depending upon some of them levels, if you show up to a Power 5 school, just for example, and it's like, hey, I'm that dude, and I'm going to show up here. Okay, you're at a Power 5, bro. Everybody on your roster probably that dude. You know what I'm saying? So, which one of you are that dude in translation to what your coach is asking? Because at that point, it don't matter. And we see that portal. And look, you can rub the genie bottle as much as you want to rub it, but them wishes are not going to work when it comes to be February and March and you are in the doghouse. You are going to stay there.
Yeah, because once kids got to realize once you get in the doghouse with a college coach, you might look for the door. You might not come back out. And that's unfortunately how it works.
Yep.
Because you're a freshman, you're 18, 19 years old, whatever, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're there battling with third and fourth year players. Them dudes ain't trying to see you read the man.
Mm-hmm.
Not that kind of sense like, oh, I'm hating on you. It's no. Fool, I've been here 3 or 4 years. I had to go through this. Guess who's going to go through it now? You're going to go through it. And that's what players don't realize is when you get to college, you're probably not going to be the man. Can you do other things? Like, can you rebound? Can you be a good teammate on the bench? Can you be vocal? Can you help try to keep the culture going for the next group?
Mm-hmm.
And some of you want to go. Like you said, I want to come in freshman. I'm gonna take your spot, bro. You ain't gonna take that 28-year-old spot.
No.
It probably ain't gonna happen.
Yep.
Now, you can go in there and work for it.
Mm-hmm.
Now you go in there, and you work hard, and that coach is like, wow, this kid is putting in extra time. His grades are great. He's doing everything. He's managing his time very well. Yeah, you might see some minutes. Now you gotta let those minutes grow. You probably gonna come out the gate and be 5 and 10 minutes a game. It might be 1 minute, 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta build on that. You have to build on that time. Say, okay, now I deserve more time.
Yep.
Like the cliche is make the coach not want to sub you out or however it go. Make that coach not want to take you out of the game or not trust you.
Mm-hmm.
If that coach can trust you as a freshman, that goes so much further in playing time if that coach can trust you.
Yep.
But that trust has to be built in practice and seeing that you're not trying to be, as they say, in your bag in practice, but you're doing this stuff the right way to get yourself the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Because the main thing is you want to be out there, and they ain't bring you there to just hang out with them. Like, no, you here for a reason. Otherwise, it looks bad. So it's like you got this opportunity, but they don't realize that every day is the opportunity. Like, showing up depending upon the school, if you're on scholarship, showing up in July. Okay, I'm on campus. Okay, I'm about to go do this. Hey, I want to work with the strength team. Hey, I want to, I might run a couple days out the week with cross country to keep myself in shape. There are a multitude of different options. But at the same time, what do they think about? Or I want to party. It's like you can go party with them. Go look, they about to go run. I don't want to run. Okay, all right. It's that extra.
It's D3 guys in July working.
Mm-hmm.
It's D2 guys in July. Those kids don't come home.
Nope.
They may come home for like a couple of days. And what they do, especially those D1 kids, they like, you know what, mom, dad, I love y'all, but if I want to stay at this level,
mm-hmm.
I had to stay out here in school and put this work in during the summer. They might come home for a holiday or if they can or a birthday or something,
mm-hmm.
but they right back off to school because they know if they start slacking, yes, that young dude that is putting that work in
mm-hmm.
is going to take that older dude's spot, and that's where kids got to realize to get to that level. Yes, it's one thing, but to stay at that level is a whole another thing. Like you have to put that work in.
Exactly, and even like touching like on Love and Basketball. She was shoving her down, kicking her, all kinds of stuff. It was like, look, you think I'm losing my job to a freshman? You got me messed up. And that's part of it. Like, you're not about to. What you mean? You just about to show up and take this? Oh, nah. He done dropped me off on, on a golf course and maybe run the golf course, and I done had to lift all these weights and be beat up by strength coaches. And what did Duke do that one year? Would they go swim with the Army? Like, wait a minute, I done swam with the Army? You think you about
You think he's gonna come in and take money? Nah, and it's not even hate. Like kids, they hating on me. No, they're not hating on you.
Mm-hmm.
They're not hating on you. They telling you that, hey, if you want this, you're gonna have to outwork me because I had to outwork somebody to get this now.
Yep.
Because it's juniors that might not get no playing time.
Mm-hmm.
So You think they're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna lose my playing time to a freshman, but I'm already losing my playing time to a senior or a sophomore?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to outwork me in practice
Yep.
to even get the opportunity to outwork me on the court. Like if you're a freshman and you on like you third string or whatever, and you got 2 or 3 juniors on your third string with you, you got to outwork them because they try to outwork that sophomore, junior, or senior who's ahead of them as first or second string.
Yep.
So it's a process. I hate to use that word, but it's a process in that you have to show up, do what you're supposed to do, put that extra work in, and gain that trust. The quicker you can gain the trust of that college coach in practice, the quicker you can gain that trust on that floor.
Mm-hmm. And that was Brad Bill said, he was like, look, y'all make it to the NBA. Look, y'all got to guard me. And if y'all think that I'm about to give up my money for y'all, but I think Thad Young said it better though. He was like, look, I'm about to be on my 6th contract. You don't see me averaging 20 points, 15, 17, nothing like that. I come to work. The work just started when I got drafted. He's like, the work just started when I got to school because it's a new level of work. It might be days where I might work out 3-4 times a day. And you'd be like, okay, your body okay? Don't matter. I need to go get to what my body is allowing me to do with the skill set that I have. Just because I'm not in the game all the time, that's one thing. That might be scheme. That might be, the way they want to utilize me tonight. Maybe that's a bad matchup for me. So on and so forth. The analytics will speak for themselves as far as what they're trying to do. But you always got to put some form of work in that has an end result to it so that way you can get to where you need to be so that way you can utilize this skill set at its maximum. And that's where a lot of people fall short. It's like, what's the maximum I can be at? I don't know. You tell me. You shoot your 500 shots today? Nah. Okay. All right. We just took a step back. What you mean by that? Somebody did.
Somebody definitely did.
I see all these Kobe videos. Kobe did at 4 a.m. What you doing at 4 a.m.? Oh, that's right. You was texting her, huh? Mm-hmm. Should have texted her, hey, you going to come rebound for me. If she ain't going to rebound for you. What Bobby Knight say? If she wouldn't rebound for you might need a new girlfriend.
and just that little small thing is what they don't understand. They think, it's just supposed to happen. Recruiting is not magical for everybody. It's not going to be a magical magician in a hat, pull out the genie, guess what? You got a scholarship. Some people are going to go the grind. They got to go through the nasty route. They got to go either Division III, and move up, or NAIA or whatever. Everybody's route ain't going to be the same.
Yep.
The thing is, if your goal is to either play professional in the NBA or overseas or wherever it is, your journey to that point in your life ain't gonna be the same as the next person next to you.
Yep.
Okay, because that person may not make it where you might make it, or you may not make it where that person makes it. So, but if you put the work in, put the time in, no, it's not a guarantee that's going to happen because you're still gonna have things that fall your way. Like, we be honest with everybody, and I'll try to be honest with kids. Yes, it's going to take a little bit of luck. You gotta be in the right spot in the right time and place.
Yep.
Because if you know somebody, it's more about who you know sometimes than what you can do. Because if I am connected to a Power 5 school like Michigan State or something, and I'm real good buddy with the head coach, yeah, you might get you might have a better chance of going to that over somebody who doesn't know that person directly or has no contact. But at the end of the day, it's still about you have to put that work in.
Yep.
Because if I tell that coach to come see you, and he comes to see you and says, "Oh my God, why are you showing me this kid? We know each other." I just lost my credibility with that coach.
Yep.
And now I can't get it back. So I can't stick my neck out to you to say, "Hey, this kid worth recruiting." If you're not putting that work in and showing me that you're putting that work in.
Yep.
And that's what I think a lot of kids don't understand. Like, but because he plays for EYBL or he plays for 3SB or he plays for, that's beautiful and fine. But those kids are still putting that work in.
Yep.
And that's why those coaches come and see them guys. And they think, no, it's just no. Yeah, they have connections, but they're still putting that work in because I would try to do track time with my AAU team. I said, hey, let's go get on the track, or let's go lift some weights. I don't want you to just roll the ball out. We go to practice. No, because that's not going to help That's not going to help you.
Mm-hmm.
I do film study with my AA team. I do track time. I try to do weight times with them. So then that way they get a full experience of more than just basketball. It's an actual time for them to get better. Again, 0-3, I'm cool. 0-4, I'm cool. I'm a little hurt, yeah, personally. But
me too.
That's an ego thing.
Right.
It's an ego thing. But like you said, as long as they got better or they got opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been thankful. You know, I sent quite a few kids off to college. I don't try to like keep track or anything like that. But I've been thankful and blessed enough to be able to help some kids go to college. I'll say it like that. To help some kids go on. And I probably, honestly, I don't put a level on a kid. I don't say, oh, you're a D1 talent, or you're a D2 talent, or you're a D3 talent. Because if that D1 coach recruits you, and I say, oh, well, you're only a D3 kid, you're getting D1. So obviously you're what? You're a D1 kid.
Yep.
Or if I say, oh, you're a D1 kid, but only schools are recruiting you're a D3, you're a D3 kid. So I never put level on kids. I never tell my players, oh, well, you know what? I'm only going to send you to, I'm only going to tell Division II schools about you, or I'm only going to tell JUCOs about you.
Yep.
Now, if you got really bad grades, but then, hey, you know, that's writing's on the wall. You know? Like, and I'm not saying say JUCO is just only for bad grades, but I'm just saying that you're going to need that. You're probably going to have to go that route or post-grad.
Yep.
Okay, but you did that. And that's why I try to tell kids. I would never tell a kid, you're that level, or you're that level only, or you're that level only. It's, hey, if that coach says, hey, a guy is, you know, a guy that we really like, then that's where you're at.
Yep. And they're gonna recruit who they want. They got their list. They're getting updates from their regions. They don't have to fly all over the country. Hey, did he do well tonight? Nah. Okay, what was wrong? They gonna get those reports. We had Oakland U come out to look at a guard we had one time. And I think we played a terrible team game, but they wanted him based on everything else that he had did up to that point. It just wasn't where he was trying to go. He thought it was too far. Okay, cool. He still went to school for free, but it was just kind of like, here's the opportunity. But he was the kind of dude that kind of quiet, but his play was loud, but kind of quiet. So it was just kind of like, hey, you know, do you want us to tell you when certain schools are going to show up? Nah. I just want to be my authentic self.
That's beautiful.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
Okay.
That's beautiful. You hardly ever get that.
Never.
Most kids want to know so they can either blast on social media or blast it to their friends.
Yep.
But that's beautiful that he said, no, just let me just do my work so that way I don't have that extra unnecessary distraction. I can just go play my game.
Yep. So he did, and he had a fairly successful year that year. You know, he had a couple, you know, brain farts and stuff like that. But I mean, what person doesn't that had a ball in their hands that much?
Yeah.
So did really well for himself. Ended up, you know, he went off to NAI and he graduated and stuff like that. But he never really said like, hey, I want to go D1, because he started off walking on at a D2, but then he decided to come home and it was like, okay, we gonna figure this out. High academic kid, we're going to figure this out. And there were some D2s that really wanted him, but, again, they were even further. I think the one that was really, really on him the hardest was Black Hill State, but he didn't want to go that far, you know what I'm saying? It was just kind of like, all right, cool. So he decided, you know, stay more around. But at the same time, he still had a phenomenal career. And it's just one of those things like you don't want to put level on it. If you want to go do that, hey, cool. By all means, school is, at that point, school free, cool. Do your thing. I hope you keep working as hard as you've been working. Take it to the next level, and then so on and so forth. But that was just kind of his demeanor. And, you know, when he's playing, he all of that then, like, let him start hitting a couple shots. Yeah, you about to hear it. And he just about to keep going. He about to keep going. And it was fun to see, because it's just kind of like you knew that year, like, we were devoid of hype. We just didn't have a lot. But we had some kids that just really got after it. And you knew that, you know, hey, if he did one of these and did this, hey, look, hey, get up out his way.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how he about to score it, but just get up out that man's way.
He about to just go get it.
Exactly. Because one dude, I remember we were at Madison, and he looks down, because he had just gave a great assist to our co-captain. He looked down. It was about 2 minutes left. Dude got ready to come up to set the screen for the secondary. He was like, oh, cut out the way. He set him up with the pick. Dude did one of these and spun around. He pulled up, and you can just see our bench like this, like leaning, like we know that's going in. He hit that joint. He started going down court. It was like, okay, we won this game. We got 3 minutes left. He gonna hit another one.
You already know he in that groove. Some kids when they're in that groove, let them be in that groove. That's why I always think if a kid in that groove, I'm gonna try to find a way for him to get that ball and stay in that groove.
Yep.
It's beautiful. I had one kid, big tall kid, 6'8", Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we were playing out in Iowa, Dubuque, right? We're losing to the swing, and we're losing. I mean, we're losing pretty good. I'm like burnt out from that long drive by. You got to drive from Wisconsin to Iowa. I'm like,
yeah, you just doing this.
So I'm like, man, my energy's low, and you can tell the team's energy was low, right?
Mm-hmm.
Coach said something to me, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm just trying to get us through this game.
Yeah.
So he said something to me weird, like I was like, all right, you know what? Let's go, man. And I promise you, Coach, he hit 8 threes. 8, 6'8". He had 8 threes, and he had this look in his face, and I was like, keep feeling this. He was corner to corner, bang, 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 just three. Put us back in the game and won the game for us.
I already know my guy over there. I ain't even gonna bring the name back up. I already know I know his face, and I know he was hot.
I forgot what he said in the game. I was like, he said, Coach, I was, he said, Coach, I was saying something. I was like, but I think my players took it as like, differently, and they woke up. Like, they started pressing. I mean, out of nowhere, they started pressing, and they started hitting Dylan with that rock, and Dylan was just like, bang, bang. And I was like, okay. I was like, okay, well, you know what? Let me sit back, tune in.
Right.
Because sometimes kids, when they're just good players, all they need is that one little trigger, and they turn on, and they turned on. We were down by at least about 15, almost 16 points. And with the running clock at AAU, it's hard. We came back one by about, I think, 10 or 12. He was just, wow. Him and Luke, and Caleb.
Gotcha.
Luke.
Yep.
Him, Luke, and Caleb was just, and they was picking up full court, and that was it.
All right. So one thing I want to touch on with you. What can we do better as adults now that, our career is over with, all that kind of stuff?
Yes.
What can we do better to serve the kids?
Just mentally preparing them. For other, basketball. Again, like you said before, some kids don't want to go play college ball.
Yeah.
And sometimes parents, when we spend a lot of money on our kids and play sports, we're thinking, hey, you're gonna go play a sport. You're gonna go college for I just spent $15,000 on or whatever.
Right.
And because I had a kid, a D2 in the bottom of Missouri. What's this? I can't think of the name of school. School wanted him to come. He was like, Coach, I'll be honest, I don't want to do it. I just want to go to school.
Yeah.
And I think it was tough for him to tell his dad that. And say, Dad, AAU was fun. At this point, I'm just mentally, I just don't want to do it no more. Because some kids get burnt out with AAU.
Yeah.
Because again, it's a lot of travel. It's basically almost like college. It's almost like you travel from state to state to play basketball. You're basically playing like almost like college. In the state that you're traveling. You have to ride to this place, and play basketball. Or you got to fly to this place to play basketball. You're doing kind of that regimen, and especially if you do it young enough. When you're in 8th grade, you do a little traveling. In 9th grade, you travel again. 10th grade, 11th grade, you're like, man, I'm beat. You play 8, 9, 10 tournaments in summer in all these different states. Get out of school early on a Friday, or leave school early on a Thursday night, so you play on a Friday morning game, or having to be up at 8 in the morning and play on a Saturday or a Sunday. For years, like, if you ain't think think about it, from your 8th grade to your when you play unsigned, that's 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, unsigned. That's 5 years
Mm-hmm.
of 8 tournaments a summer, along with your high school season, along with your fall league, along with your other stuff. He was burnt out. So I think for me, us is getting these younger kids to mentally be relaxed. Somehow take a break.
Yep.
And I think that's what we have to do better is like saying, hey, you got to read, relax, and recover. Because if you don't read, relax, and recover, you want to go, the no days off. You hear that a lot of times, but it's a double-edged sword. The kids get burnt out, and that's, I think a lot of them are just getting burnt out, and that's why they're like, you know what, I'm just done with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's probably the biggest thing because you'll lose kids to the streets, for whatever reason. Like I had a really good kid that played for me a couple years ago. He got ranked in Prep Suits, who can shoot the leather off the ball. He was coach. I've never seen a player score 25 without scoring 25. he was scoring. Coach, he was scoring 25 without scoring 25. That's how easy he was scoring.
Oh,
that's
man.
how easily he was hitting. He would hit threes. I don't know if you see my face. Okay, the dude here was like this,
mm-hmm.
and he was still draining from the red volleyball line. He would come down, and if he caught it on the wing, he's probably the best. Probably one of the best shooters I've seen personally at that age, in high school shoot the rock. Because again, it was effortless. Skinny, about 6'1", 6'2", skinny, kid, inner city kid, which normally really doesn't happen for inner city. I hate to say it like that, but you don't really see a 3-point shooter that's an inner city kid. It's mainly layup, or floater or stuff like or dunk. But man, he was, and it was a weird shot. It was like his knees would go like this, and you would be like, it's going in. He would get knocked. He had at least every game he would get knocked down 3 or 4 times to make a three. That's how good dude schools was like, man. Not no high level schools, but D3, D2 was like, man. But he ended up, going a different path. And I think again, it's just the mental part of, because he needed to rise in practice a lot. He would need rising games, and that mental part of that stress. Because I got to call coach again because I don't have somebody to take me to practice. Or I got to call coach again to give me a ride to the game. Or I got to call coach again and ask for to stay with him and his family at the hotel. It kind of even for a young kid, it wears on you. So that's what I'm saying. The mental part is where, as adults, I think we probably got to be better with the players.
Definitely agree to all of that, and there's nothing for me to piggyback there. So I do definitely thank you, Coach, because this has been great.
Thank you.
I will get this up as quickly as I can because I got to edit it a little different. But give me a day and I'll get it up there, brother.
All right, let me know.
I appreciate you, Coach.